All right, boys, so I'm going to show you how I went from a skinny, fragile body to a lean, muscular physique, developing unwavering confidence whilst working 12-hour shifts. Before I implemented these systems, I was skinny with an embarrassing physique, had zero confidence, and I was constantly labeled the skinny kid, and that really, really got to me. Being constantly called the skinny kid all the time really, really got to me deep. And I hated what I saw looking back at me in the mirror. No one respected me, which was huge. Absolutely no one. Once I implemented these systems I'm about to show you, I built real muscle while staying lean and still seeing my abs. I developed unwavering confidence. Became more attractive. I developed an unbreakable mindset, which is very, very hard to achieve by extension of getting in shape. And I evolved into a man. You can see here on the right hand side, these two images on the left. Look at me. I look like a little boy. And I was a little boy because look at the body I was in. I developed into the person on the right. Totally different person. You can just sell. Just an absolute totally different person. And I know what it's like. I've been on both sides. I've been here. Now I'm here. I've been here. And now I'm here. Which is why I made these unbreakable systems to change your life, because they changed mine. And who is this for? Okay. If you're training hard, but you're still not seeing the body you know you should have and you know you deserve, if you're sick and tired of starting motivated and then falling off after 2 or 3 weeks, which is what I hear so much. If you want to look athletic, lean and confident without living in the gym or starving yourself, I'm not trying to look like a bodybuilder. I'm trying to have that athletic, nice physique with low body fat, with a lot of muscle, but not like Chris Bumstead, all right? If you want that, this isn't for you. If you've tried workouts, meal plans, or coaches before and felt nothing was tailored for you specifically, because every single person's body is different, right? It has to be for you specifically. If you're done winging it and you want a repeatable system that forces progress even on low motivation days, then this is for you. But who is this not for, right? If you're looking for a quick fix, a shortcut, or something that you're going to half commit to, if you want motivation instead of a structure or hype instead of action, if you're unwilling to follow a system exactly and trust the process long enough for it to work, because this isn't going to happen overnight, if you're comfortable staying where you are and telling yourself, I'll start soon. If I had a penny for every single time I heard that, I'd be a millionaire. And if you want someone to do the work for you instead of hold you to a high standard and hold you accountable, then this definitely isn't for you. So click off the video now. Now, here's the truth, right? You don't need to bulk and get fat to build muscle. You need progressive training, enough protein, and a small calorie surplus. Fat gain isn't a muscle building requirement, right? People think they go hand in hand. When fat goes up, muscle goes up. When muscle goes down, fat goes down. That's not how it works. These things are separate. But a lot of people struggle to realize that and struggle to build a system that allows the muscle to keep going up while the fat even goes down. You can do this, and people don't realize that. So that only happens as a result of poor programming, overeating, and no structure whatsoever. When training, nutrition, and recovery is systemized, muscle gain becomes predictable and fat gain stays minimal, which is the key. We don't want to be building fat. We want to be building muscle, right? Look at me at the bottom here next to the Chris Eubank Sr., the man himself, right? Look at me. It's embarrassing. He's wearing a sheriff's badge. He's just mogging me, boys. Like, let's be honest. Look at him. Just looks like the big boss, and I just look like a little boy. And the worst thing was, I thought I looked good here. I thought I was going, oh, do you know what? Take my top off. Look a bit good. Look at me. Look at me. So delusional to think I was half all right here. Yeah? Look at me here. Just a skinny little boy. But then look at me on the right. This is me now. Totally different person. Different man. I'm totally evolved into the person that I am today. And I cannot be more grateful to myself for taking that step, doing the research, building the systems that I'm about to show you today to get these results, right? But don't worry. I'm not going to let that happen to you. There's no such thing as needing to get fat to build muscle. That doesn't exist. A lot of people think it exists. It doesn't exist. That only happens when people eat blindly and they train without a structure. There's no such thing as bad genetics for muscle growth. I told myself that as well when I was a skinny kid. There's no such thing. Most people just lack the consistency, the recovery, and a real plan that they can follow, a real system. There's no such thing as waiting for motivation either. Motivation just doesn't exist, right? It comes and goes. Systems create results. Motivation just comes and goes. Yeah. So you have to stick to the system, stick to the discipline. This is a lifestyle. This isn't just temporary. There's no such thing as not enough time, right? There's only no structure built around your life. Everyone's different. Everyone has different jobs. Everyone has different day-to-day lives. Everything has to be built specific to you. Otherwise, you won't see results. There's not a one-size-fits-all. Fitness is the number one thing that you cannot say one-size-fits-all. We're all biologically different people. There is no one on the planet that is you. And your body reacts differently. Different foods, different tastes, everything. right? You have to make a sustainable system personalized to you. There's no such thing as needing perfection, right? We're not trying to be perfect here. We're just trying to consistently execute, because that beats flawless weeks. Everyone trying to say, "Oh, I just want to do this. I'm just waiting for this. Be perfect, be perfect." You're going to learn along the way. You're going to fail along the way. That is how you learn. Yeah, it's not an L, it's a loss. You have to make sure that you're not worried about failing. The people that aren't worried about failing progress 10 times better, because they're not worried about failing, because they know that they're going to learn a lesson from every single failure. And it's how you use those failures, how you use those lessons to either push you forward or send you on a downward spiral. And if you want the person to be you, I'll show you exactly how to train with a simple progressive system that forces muscle growth without unnecessary fat gain. If you follow this system, it forces muscle growth, right? It absolutely forces it. How to eat in a controlled, sustainable way that supports muscle growth while keeping you lean. How to install discipline and structure so results, even when the motivation disappears, they still happen, right? Even when the motivation's gone, they still happen. How to turn this into a repeatable system you can run year round. This isn't a phase you fall out of. This is a lifestyle we're trying to build, right? This is a system that you can just follow, and it's so easy. You could feel however you want to feel. You can feel sad, happy, excited when you wake up. The results are going to be the same. And in case you don't know me, let me run you through a quick backstory about how I got here, right? Growing up, I had huge body dysmorphia. I had a lack of confidence, and it affected my everyday life without me even realizing. I started going to the gym and training very, very hard, but I didn't see any progress. I wasted years doing this, right? I was in the gym from like 13 to 19. 19 is when I really locked in, like 18 to 19. I wasted 5-6 years in the gym because I didn't have a system. I was just going in the gym, basically, oh, I'm in the gym now, so I'm going to see results. That's not how it works. Yeah, you could pay for the membership, but if you don't lift the weights, what do you expect? What do you expect? It's only your fault. You have to have the system. No one cares about you. No one cares about if you get in good shape or not. I've seen people down my gym for 5 years, for the last 5 years, for the last 3, 4, 5 years, and they look the same as when they started. While I've skyrocketed my progress, they look the same, but the difference is I have a system I'm following every single day, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, which guarantees progress. They're not. Right. So while they're looking at me like, what is he doing? I've had steroid accusations, boys. Steroid accusations because of my progress. That is when you know you're doing something right. Look, this is me on the left. I don't blame them. If you compare this image to this image on the right, I look like a totally different person. Yeah. I look totally different. This is a boy and this is a man. And this is all down to the system that I created. So I didn't see any progress for years, right? Then I locked in my nutrition after years of neglecting it. Although I built muscle, I gained so much fat, right? I had to go through that learning phase. I wasn't worried about failing. I wasn't worried about. I was like, all right, I'm just going to eat as many calories as I could. 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day I was eating. I didn't know anything about nutrition. I just thought the more you ate, the more muscle you put on, and that's just not how it works. So in the summer of 2024, I've done a lot of research because I was just fed up. And that's where most people fall off, right? They don't do the research. They think, oh, well, I've gone down the gym. I've locked in my diet, even though they haven't. They're just telling themselves that to justify the lack of their progress. And they fall off. I was so stubborn, which I'm so glad that I was, that I'd done so much research to the point where I can guarantee results now. It's like, I know what I'm going to look like in this certain amount of time. I know that if I've got a wedding in 3-4 months, that I can look a certain way if I lock in, because it's a system. This is biology, right? The only thing that doesn't work is you. Yeah, all these systems, they work. It's you that doesn't work. Yeah, it's your body. You have to be responsible for it and take pride in your body, because the things that come from extension, the respect, the confidence, the shoulders back, the chest out, people respect you immediately. It is much more than just looking at yourself in the mirror and going, yeah, I've got some abs, or I've got nice arms now. It's much more than that. I started seeing the results I should have got years prior, almost instantly, and my life changed forever. I saw more results in 6 months, than the previous 5-6 years of me training. Absolutely. The previous 5-6 years of me training, it was like the only thing that I gained from it was the fact that I was fed up with no progress. So you could say it was an essential part, but I essentially wasted 5-6 years of my life trying to achieve this physique. And then I achieved it within like it was longer than that. But I was on the road to achieving it within 6 months. Within 6 months, I was an unrecognizable person. People around me were literally like, what have you done? Like, how have you done this? The built not bulked blueprint is something that I created, right? Through my years of trial and error, by testing every workout, every meal that I possibly could, everything that I thought was that a secret thing that would get me to the best shape of my life. And I gained loads of muscle with staying lean once I locked in on this system, right? And I've decided to break it all down for you here, step by step, for free. And in the following steps, I'll outline the entire process from A to Z of what I did to accomplish these results. So you can too use my full system to build muscle fast while staying lean. And that's the key part. Develop an iron mindset. I know it sounds cringy. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. You have to have the mindset. Otherwise, the body's not possible. And understand how to structure your nutrition and training effectively. If you don't have the mindset, you don't have the nutrition, and you don't have the training. If you don't have one of these things, they fall apart, right? You have to have the training. You have to have the nutrition. You have to have the iron mindset, and they all come in conjunction with one another. If you don't have this, these two aren't possible. If you don't have this, these two aren't possible. You know what I mean? That the progress isn't possible without every single one being locked in. So that's what I'm about to show you in this system. So this is a built, not bulked blueprint, right? We want to be built. We don't want to be like some bulky, fluffy teddy bear. We want to be looking good. Yeah. This takes all the guesswork out of the equation and guarantees results if you follow it correctly. Right, so we're going to go over mindset and discipline. I know it's cliche. I know you probably want to click off the video. I know you've heard it 1,000 times, mindset. But the reason you've heard it 1,000 times is because of how important it is. You have to lock in your mindset. Otherwise, if you can't lock this in, how do you? This tells your body what to do, right? This tells your body what to do. How are you going to tell your body what to do if this is not locked in? This is the number one thing you need to lock in. Nutrition and meal planning, training and progressive overload, recovery and sleep, and tracking and adjustment, right? All of these things in conjunction with one another, if they're locked in. So easy. It's so simple to lock these in. I know it seems like a lot here, but I'm going to get into it and show you how easy it is. Guarantees progress. It's not even like a thought. I have this progress. All right, I've got that locked in now. It's like you can just enjoy other parts of your life because you know it's guaranteed. You don't have to even put like so much effort every day into it because it's just a system. You just follow it. You do this, you get this result. It's that simple, and people overcomplicate it. So simple. Now I'll show you step by step every part of this system, how it works, and how it will take you from where you are now to the physique you want, as it did with me. Mindset and discipline, yeah, number one. We'll get the boring things out of the way first. Yeah, just bear with me. Discipline over motivation, you've heard it 1,000 times. Motivation gets you started, but discipline is what actually builds your body. If you see an Instagram reel, yeah, you're going to get motivation. That motivation might fade after a day, a week, a month if you're lucky. But then the discipline stays. No matter how you feel when you get up in the morning, you will do it regardless. It's like brushing your teeth. If you're sad or you're happy or whatever, you still brush your teeth. I hope you brush your teeth. But your discipline stays. You do it because you know you need to do it. It's just a human necessity. It's like breathing. You don't need to think about doing this. And once you implement these systems, it'll be like breathing. You don't even need to think about it. It just becomes second nature. Your physique is a reflection of what you do on the days you don't feel like it, right? Everyone can handle the good times. The good times handle themselves. You don't even handle them, right? My dad's always said this. It's how you handle the bad times. The good times take care of themselves. So what you do on the days you don't feel like it will directly correlate to your progress. You show me someone who's not disciplined and show me someone who acts dependent on their mood, and I'll show you their physique. Yeah, it's that simple. Discipline turns training and nutrition into automatic habits, not daily decisions. Less thinking and more progress. Yeah, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to stress out. What am I doing? I'm going to look up these secret little things. It's a system. Yeah, it's literally, I give you the system, you follow it, you get results. It is that simple. I know it sounds too simple, but it is that simple. When discipline is in place, progress becomes predictable instead of emotional. There's no guesswork here. There's no resets. There's no, I've fallen off again. This is a consistent line. Don't get me wrong. Progress is not linear, but you're going to consistently go up, and this is guaranteed. This is biology, right? This is how the human body works. The only thing that's not going to make it work is if you don't follow it. Every great physique is built for repeated, can't even talk, disciplined actions, not bursts of motivation, right? I've just got a quick chart on the side here. Consistent action, it comes from discipline. Unpredictable and fleeting is motivation. With discipline, it works even when you don't feel like it. With motivation, it depends on your mood. Discipline builds habits and long-term success. Motivation, temporary and unreliable. We can't rely on it. You're always under control when you've got discipline. That is so key. You have to be in control. No one else is going to control your body. No one else is going to control how you look. They're not going to get you out of bed, tell you to go down the gym, tell you to eat this. I will, but no one else is going to. You have to do the action. I can tell you to do it, but me telling you to do it isn't going to get you there. You have to do it. Motivation, it comes and goes, right? You're never in control. It comes and goes based on your feelings. Discipline makes results happen. Motivation makes excuses. It's as simple as that. So overcoming plateaus is a very, very, very big thing that people fall into. Plateaus don't mean your body stopped responding. They mean your approach stopped evolving. That is very key. People, this is what I've got on the right? Rapid, spontaneous progress. When you first get in the gym for a month, 2 months, 3 months, that first section you get in the gym, that first bit of Like that first time you get in the gym, you're going to see such huge progress. You're going to get addicted. And that is the best addiction you can ever get, because you see the progress here. But then what happens with the majority of people, they reach this plateau, right? They reach this brick wall. They don't get past it because they just like, oh, I'm not making progress. I made so much more progress in my first 3 months. Yes, because you're shocking your body. You've never gone in the gym before. You've never done this type of system before. You're following a system that works, but once the human body's an amazing thing, right? It adapts very, very quickly. It adapts to what you're doing. Yeah, it's only your human body is wired for survival, right? So if you keep putting it under tension, you keep lifting those weights, and you don't change anything, your body's going to adapt to it as it should, as you'd want it to, right? And you're going to reach this wall. Same here. You're going to reach the wall. You're going to go up, go up, go up. Strength's going to get better over time, and then you're just going to flat, and you just feel like you're not getting anywhere. And it is my job and your job. We will work together to break through that plateau in the middle, right? You're going to go exponential progress. Then you're going to flatten out, and you're going to be like, what is going on here? I think I want to fall off. But the real people, the people that get results, and they keep these results, and they keep them for life, they break through the plateaus constantly, day in, day out. Plateaus just every other day to them. You have to adjust, right? Progress resumes when training, nutrition, or recovery is adjusted, not when effort increases, right? You could go in the gym and be like, oh, I'm going to train double as hard, 10 times as hard. It's not how it works. In fitness, it's one of the only things where more is not actually more. More doesn't equal more. More actually equals less in the gym. You could do yourself more harm if you do more in the gym, right? Plateaus are feedback and not failure. So it's just telling you that your system needs to change. It's telling you what needs to change. It's up to you to change it, right? But this is what I do. You work with me, you tell, like, you get told, because I've been there. I know what to do, what to change. Been there 1,000 times. I've hit so many plateaus to the point where it's just like it's just another day. Just another day, sorry. It's just one of those things where you hit a wall. It's part of the progress. You're expecting it almost, and then you break past it. A few months later, you reach another one, you break past it. It's just like clockwork now, right? The people who break through plateaus are the ones who stay disciplined long enough to adapt. That is why it's so important. The mindset is so important, because imagine you're relying on motivation, boys. Imagine you're relying on motivation to get over these plateaus. You think you're going to wake up and feel motivated to go and run your head into a brick wall? No one's going to feel motivated. You've got to be disciplined. You just know this is part of the progress, and you've got to do what you've got to do. Adjust your macros, adjust your nutrients, adjust this, adjust that, adjust your training, adjust so many things specific to you to reach the goal that you want to reach. Nutrition and meal planning, right? These are obviously so important. Everything I'm telling you is so important because they have to work in conjunction with one another. If one of these things falls apart, the whole system falls apart, right? Calories determine change. Macros determine what that change looks like. Very, very important. A lot of people don't understand that. And you don't need extreme dieting. You need controlled intake aligned with your goal, which is why I say it's very important. Everything is specified to your specific goal. Yeah, everyone has different goals. So it can't be a one size fits all. If you've got a different goal to me or John down the road or Stacy, everyone's got a different goal, right? Protein protects muscle. Carbs fuel performance, and fats support hormones. All of these things work in conjunction with one another. Again, you can't have one and not the other, right? Protein, I'm sure you've heard. Of course you've heard. So important for building muscle, but it's not the only thing. You can't just be focusing on protein. Carbs fuel your performance in the gym, right? Look at all of these benefits of protein, for example. Builds and repairs muscle, but you probably think that's the only thing, right? It boosts your metabolism as well, your bone health. It's used as an energy source. It's the main building block of the body. Makes hormones and enzymes. It's so important. I tell people that aren't in the gym they need to increase their protein. It's so good and so important for just you functioning as a human. We need protein, regardless of if you're in the gym or not. Carbohydrates, they fuel your training. You should be eating to fuel your training, not training to fuel your eating, right? You shouldn't go, oh, I've just gone down the gym today, so now I can eat donuts and whatever I want. You should be eating to go, I'm gonna go down the gym. What meal can I have that will benefit me most and make this session the best that it can be? That is the mindset you need to have, right? All of these, glycogen stores, recovery, all of these sources, sugars and starches, sugars here, you're probably thinking, well, these are bad for you. But if used in the right way, if you're using them, don't get me wrong, it shouldn't be part of your daily diet. But if you use these things once in a while, the sugars, the unhealthy sugars that everyone says they're unhealthy, and they are unhealthy to have every single day, but you can use them to your benefit. I'll have sugars, I'll have sweets, but if they're timed perfectly around your training, it's actually more beneficial than detrimental. And that's what people don't teach you. These things can be used for your performance and for your benefit rather than for your downfall, right? We've been programmed to think all these things, but it's actually not right. If you actually look at your body, these things can be used for you, which is very, very important. And fats are so important. 60% of our brains are fat. And you think fats aren't important. Some people think if you have more fat, you're going to get fat. That is not how it works. The word fat does not mean that you're going to get fat. Like, that's not how it works. And it's so important for hormones, right? Testosterone as a man is incredibly important, not just for how you look and building muscle. It's how you walk, how you carry yourself, how you talk. I can look at someone, you can look at someone probably, but I can definitely look at someone and realize, all right, he's low testosterone, he's high testosterone. You can look at these people and not even listen to anything they say just by looking at them from afar, how they walk, how they talk, how they carry themselves. You can see if they're low or high testosterone. And trust me, you want to be high testosterone as a man because there are so many benefits. Just getting muscle and building muscle is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to testosterone and the benefits that you get from it. Protein protects muscle, carbs support performance, and fats support hormones. Yeah, we've just gone through that. Most fat gain comes from eating without structure, right? Not from eating too much food. So you don't have a system. You're just sort of just like hoping. This system isn't built on hope. This is built on consistent, reliable results, right? When calories and macros are controlled, results stop being random. They start being predictable. When you have a system, when you know what to put in your body, when to put in your body, these results become inevitable. It's guaranteed, right? This is biology. This isn't something that we're hoping. This is literally science. And if you don't follow it, it's not going to work. But if you follow the system that I give you, it's going to work guaranteed. This isn't like some guessing game. This is a system worked with science. This is backed by science, guys. Tracking and adjustment. Just look quickly before we get into this. Look at me on the right here. This is Perisic, Croatian footballer. I don't know if many of you know him, right? Look at him here, right? Absolutely makes me look like a little boy. Just like a joke of a person, right? It's embarrassing looking at these pictures. I'm glad I have them so I can track my progress. But look at me on the right. This is me about, I think this was about 6 months ago or something. And I've only got better from here, right? This is me. He was absolutely making me look like an idiot. Now, obviously, the lighting's different. I'll give him a run for his money. Look at me here, though. I couldn't even fill out. I think this was an extra small. I don't even think it was extra small. I think I had to go out my way to try and get the arms to fit. And I still, look at them. They're just loose. It's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing having this physique. I was embarrassed. And I took control. And I'm so happy I did. What gets tracked gets improved, right? What's not tracked cannot be improved. So guessing is why most people stall. They're just guessing and hoping. How are you going to improve your body if you're just hoping and guessing? Tracking isn't about obsession. It's about awareness and control, right? It's not about being obsessed or you're obsessed. It's literally just knowing what you put in your body, being in control of your body and being aware of what's in your body, right? I've got to the point now where I'm tracking my calories to the point where my own mum is going, what have you got me doing? You got me checking all of this stuff because it sounds so sad and it sounds so, like now I'm saying it out loud, it sounds so sad, but you'll understand if you start doing it, when you start doing it, because you'll get the progress and it becomes interesting, right? Because you're going, oh, well, they've said that food's good, or I've always heard my whole life that food's good, or that's got loads of protein, or this and that. But they're actually, if you actually track it, you realize it's all just a fallacy. It's all just a lie. Once you take control and you find out for yourself through tracking these foods, it actually becomes interesting, right? Sometimes I'll just be like, oh, that's cool. Let me just, like, I've got an app, MyFitnessPal. You can just scan the barcode. It just tells you everything that's in it. It's that easy. Scanning with a barcode. You don't have to type it all in. Like, I'll just scan it and be like, oh, that's quite interesting. Not even because I'm tracking. Like sometimes I won't even be tracking. I'll just be doing it because I want to see. Progress data tells you when to push harder and when to pull back. Very, very key. Very key knowing when your body needs a rest. Small adjustments made consistently beat big changes made emotionally. Yeah, this is a system and you have to be consistent with the system. Can't make any changes emotionally. Your body doesn't care about your emotions. Your physique doesn't care about how you feel. Yeah, I know that sounds harsh, but it's just the reality. Your physique doesn't care how you feel. It cares what you put inside it. When you put all this stuff inside it, you have to be disciplined with this. When you track and adjust, results become repeatable instead of accidental. You know you're going to get results. It's just inevitable. You follow these systems, you see results. All right, brilliant. Like you can literally get to the point where you see all these people, I've got a wedding in 3 months, 4 months time. Like, that they know they have a proven system. They know they're going to be in shape or they're going to look a certain way. They can literally guarantee the physique they're going to have because their discipline isn't a question. They know they're going to get in the gym and do it, but they have a system put in place to, in 3-4 months, they know what they're going to look like. They're going to see their abs. They might not see their abs now, but they know because the system is so reliable that they're using, right? And they trust the fact that their discipline is priority over motivation. Training progressive overload, very, very important as well. All of these things are so important, guys. Workout structure, right? Muscle isn't built by random workouts. It's built through structured progression. Like, look at me here, right? This was being about, I think it was the same time as the last photos, but I was training in Italy and I'm training hard, right? Progressive overload, which is what we're going to talk about next. But workout structure is so important. You can't just be going in with a like a flimsy plan. What are you training today, mate? I've had it so many times where I ask people, "What are you training today?" I don't know. Probably train chest, bit of legs, or a bit of abs. Like, they don't have a plan, right? You have to have a structure every single week to guarantee that you're training your muscle at least twice a week. That is how you get the most results. Exercise selection, volume, and intensity must match the goal. Yeah, whatever goal you're trying to achieve, it has to be specific. Your training has to be specific to that goal. Doing more isn't better. Doing the right work consistently is, as I said, in fitness, it's one of the only things where more doesn't actually mean more. Like, less is actually more in fitness. And we're going to get into that, right? Because that's usually not what people think. They can go in the gym and do more. I'm going to get more results. That's not how it works. It's actually detrimental. Gets to a point where if you're training too much, it sends you backwards. And that's not what you want. A structured plan ensures every session has a purpose, every single session, right? You know what you're doing when you get in there. You have a plan. You know what you're going to come out feeling. You know how you're going to go in. You know what you're going to train. There's no guesswork. This is a plan. You go in, you do that, which is why you can get, I can have a better session now in 20, 30 minutes than old me used to have in 2 hours. Way better session. And then I've just basically printed an hour and a half of time because I'm getting my time back because of the knowledge that I'm sharing with you guys, because of this system. You understand? When workouts are organized, progress becomes measurable and predictable. This isn't guesswork, as I said. You know you're going to get the results if you follow it. If you trust yourself to follow this and you're disciplined, you will get the results. Progressive overload, right? This is so important. You see in every single one of these pictures, I look like I'm on the toilet in all of them. Look at them. Look like I'm squeezing something out, boys. Let's be honest. Look at me. But I was working so hard. Look, I've never seen this before. I've never seen myself with like a chest vein and a shoulder vein. And look at all these veins. It just shows how hard I'm pushing myself. Obviously, you have to be low body fat. It takes a lot of discipline to get to this level. But those veins don't pop like that unless you're trying. And this is on the arm that I wasn't even using, right? I'm pushing myself so hard every single time. Look, I'm pushing myself so hard. Look at me. I look like kill me now. Like, that is literally what the thoughts that I'm having right here probably. But that is how you get your progress. Muscle only grows when it's forced to adapt to increasing demands. It only grows when you're breaking down that muscle. It sounds weird, right? But you're literally breaking down your muscle. You're tearing it down to then get to the point where it's saying, your body's saying, oh, like, we can't handle this weight. We can't handle this amount of reps. We can't handle the pressure we're being put under. Yeah, we can't handle it. We need to adapt. We need to rebuild stronger. And obviously it rebuilds with the protein, with the macros, with everything, which is why rest is so important, which is why the macros, the nutrients, everything, the calories are so important outside of training. But training is where you tear that muscle, right? Progressive overload doesn't mean lifting heavy every session. It means measurable progression over time. It doesn't have to just be the weight you're increasing. It can be the reps you're increasing, the time under tension you're increasing. It's just about getting better week in, week out, right? More reps, better form, slower tempo, or added load. They all count as progress. These don't have to be in conjunction with one another. You don't have to get more reps and heavier weight as well. Yeah, you're just increasing. You're getting better every single week, and it's tracked. Yeah, you know you're getting better because last week you done 20 kilos on the incline dumbbell, and now you're doing 22. Yeah, it's just that slow progression. Without progression, your body has no reason to change, right? If you're going in the gym and doing the classic, I know you've heard of this before, we all have the 3 sets of 10. And you count to 10 and then you stop. You're not listening to how your body is telling you, oh no, we need to go further because I've got 5 more reps in me. I've got 2 more reps in me. I've got another rep in me. You're just listening to your brain. The majority of people I've seen, their mind fails before their body does, right? They're going, oh, I can't be bothered. They're not actually pushing them. You have to have this iron mindset to the point where your body fails before your mind. Your mind wants to do a rep that it can't do. That is when you reach true failure. That is when you reach true progressive overload. And that is when you get results. So when overload is planned and tracked, muscle growth becomes predictable. You know you're going to gain the muscle. You're doing all the right things week in, week out. You're seeing progression. It's that easy. Recovery and sleep, very important. Muscle isn't built in the gym. It's built while you sleep. Look at this. It's so accurate. Yeah, you tear the muscle in the gym. You're breaking down the muscle in the gym, and the sleep is where it gets built. Poor sleep limits recovery, hormone output, testosterone, very important, and muscle growth. Even perfect training breaks down without quality sleep. Everything, this is why I'm saying everything has to work. Everything has to be locked in, right? You could have the perfect training, the perfect macros. If you get 4 hours of sleep a night, you're not going to see progress. That's how it works. You're not giving your body enough time to build the muscle. You have to understand this. Consistent sleep improves strength. It also improves fat loss and mental discipline, right? If you can go to the bed at the same time every night, or have a system, right, I go to bed at this time, I wake up at this time, you're guaranteed to see results. It's biology, guys. This is science. When sleep is prioritized, progress accelerates across everything else. Your training becomes better. Your appetite becomes better. Your metabolism becomes faster. Everything becomes better when you sleep. I know that's hard to get your head around. It was so hard for me as a skinny kid to get my head around, but it is so, so important. You get your 8 hours, right? Active recovery. Now, recovery doesn't mean just stopping. It means recovering with intent, right? Look, this is me on days that I'm not in the gym, right? It's planned. This is rest, but you're keeping your metabolism up. Your active recovery keeps your body prime while preventing burnout or injury. Movement, mobility, and light work improve blood flow and speed up recovery. Yeah, all of these things they called a rest day, but don't do anything intense. Just go for a walk, get your 10K steps in, go outside. Make sure you're not one of those people that's just sitting on the sofa and you're falling behind. And rest is part of your training, right? Rest is part of your plan. There's a reason there's no plan that exists that is optimal that 7 times a week, every single day. That doesn't exist because rest is very, very key. Yeah, rest is the most important in terms of building muscle. Movement, mobility, and light work improve blood flow and speed up recovery. Better recovery means better performance in your next session. When recovery is planned, progress stays consistent instead of stalling. Yeah, you can see your progress. You can see it month after month, which is why it's very important to take progress pictures, right? The Built Not Bolt blueprint isn't a hack. This is a complete system built on structure, discipline, and repeatable execution week in, week out. When training, nutrition, recovery, and tracking work together, results stop being random. They become inevitable, right? This is no guesswork, as I said. And now that you understand the whole A to Z and how this process works, yeah, I have an offer for you. So if you are frustrated with the stubborn fat you've got, the low energy as a result, you're sick of wasting time, your hormones are down the drain, you're feeling soft, stuck, or unseen, not respected by your peers because of how you look. And trust me, the way you look depends on how they respect you, how they treat you, the confidence you have. I learned this firsthand. Get in shape, please. It will change your life. If you're ready to take back control of your body and your energy is so key. There's so many things that come from an extension of a good body. People don't understand this. I would go down the gym every single day if I didn't get any better physique. If my physique stayed the same, I would go down the gym every single day because of what I learned, because of the things that I learned there that translates into so many other areas of life. If you're willing to follow a proven system without excuses, right? I won't work with people that constantly give excuses. And you're hungry to finally build the confidence and presence you deserve. People respect you, the confidence. Honestly, so many people, you become more attractive. Everyone looks at you differently. You're a totally different person. Then I do want to work with you if this is you. Because if you do want to build muscle with minimal fat gain, yeah, we're not trying to build fat, skyrocket your energy and finally feel confident in your own body, this is your chance to make it happen. Boys, there's a link in the description below. It's a Calendly link. If you feel like you're a good fit and you feel like this is you and you're ready to take control of your life, book a one-to-one call. This is a one-to-one me and you to see if we're a good fit. Yeah, I'm not going to try and sell you. I'm not going to try to do anything on the call. It's literally just to see if our relationship is good enough to work long-term. This isn't a short-term thing. This isn't a week or 2 week thing. This is a lifestyle that I'm willing to implement with you to improve your life. And please, please, please trust me when you say it will change your life. When I say that, I'm not saying it lightheartedly. It changed my life. So book a call through the Calendly link in the description. We'll see if we're a good fit. I hope to see you soon, boys. I hope to see you on that call. Have a good one, boys.